So now we look at question number 2. Consider the function fx and gx where h and k are constant. So first, question A, find the value of h and k, b, c, and d. So first we try to find the value of h and k. So actually the value of h and k refer to the domain for each of the function. So h is the domain of f and k is the domain of gx. So this is the domain of the function of fx and gx. So let's say question 2a. So for fraction, we all know that for the denominator cannot be equals to 0. So means that 4 minus x cannot be equals to 0. 4 cannot be equals to x. Therefore, since x cannot be equals to h. So in other words, means that the value of h is equals to 4. Next, we look at k. So again, for square root, the denominator, the expression inside the radical of square root must be greater or equals to 0. Means that 2x minus 2 must be greater or equals to 0. 2x must be greater or equals to 2. X must be greater or equals to 1. So again, since x must be greater or equals to k, so in other words, k is equals to 1. So therefore, k is equals to 1. So this is the answer for A. Now we look at B. Range of gx. So range of gx. So here is our gx. So as we all know, for domain, we refer to x. Untuk domain, kita rujuk kepada nilai-nilai x. For range, we refer to the output of this radical. Untuk range pula, kita tengok hasil daripada gx ni. Ataupun nilai-nilai gx lah. Apakah hasil daripada yang kita boleh dapat daripada sini. So what is the output from this square root? So the smallest value, nilai yang paling kecil yang kita boleh dapat daripada square root adalah paling kecil. So the smallest value that we can get from this radical will be 0. Nilai yang paling kecil kita boleh dapat daripada square root ni ataupun fungsi gx ni yang paling kecil adalah 0. We will never get negative. Kita tak akan dapat negatif. Because square root negative is undefined. Punca negatif tak tertakrif. So paling kecil adalah kosong. Bila kita akan dapat kosong? Apabila x ni kita ganti dengan 1. So means that the smallest value is 0. So the range, oleh itu range dia memang tak ada calculation. So the range here will be from 0, included 0, until infinity. Termasuk kosong. Sebab kosong ni memang wujud. Bila saya ganti 1, memang dapat kosong. So 0 have to be included. Kosong ni mesti termasuk. So 0 until infinity. So next we look at C. F inverse and state its range. So cari F inverse dan nyatakan julat dia, range dia. So first we try to find the F inverse. So this is F against let y equals to x over 4 minus x. Start dengan y, berakhir dengan x. So next, I will multiply the denominator, like the previous example. Multiply the denominator to the right hand side, y in the bracket 4 minus x, and then we need to expand. Kita perlu kembangkan. So 4y minus xy is equals to x. Next, we will isolate the x. Kemudian, kita akan kumpulkan x tu sekali. So, kat sini sini ada sebutan x. So, kita kena pindah lah. Kumpulkan x tu semua sekali. Because after that, we will try to factorize. Lepas tu, kita akan factorize x plus xy. So, here is 4y. Now, I try to factorize in the bracket 1 plus y. Finally, divide this bracket to the right hand side. So it will become 4y over 1 plus y is equals to x. Therefore, my f inverse will be equals to 4x over 1 plus x. So this is our f inverse. Now, we need to find its range. So if you try, jika you buat macam ni, sebab tadi ada banyak pelajar dia buat macam ni, dia let 1 plus x is not equals to 0 and then dia carilah x cannot be equals to negative 1. Yang ni, this is the domain. Ini adalah domain untuk f inverse, bukan range. Sebab kita cari yang ni adalah domain. So the answer here is, that's why saya tulis kat dalam ni. Bagi siapa yang buat ini, saya akan tulis domain. Ini adalah domain untuk, this is the domain for f inverse. This is the domain of f inverse. It's not the range. Soalan dia minta range. So kita kena ingat balik yang set tu. So ini salah. So that's why I erase this part. Saya padamkan bahagian ni. So salah. So what we have to remember is, let's say we have two sets. And the function here, from set A to set B. Let's say this is from here to here. The function here is f. So for this part, domain adalah set number 1. Range adalah set number 2. Let's say saya guna A and B. So here, so let's say this is set A. This is set B. So domain untuk fungsi f, the domain for the function of f is set A. Boleh? Domain untuk fungsi f adalah set A. Range untuk fungsi f adalah set B. So if inverse, macam mana pula jika inverse? So inverse adalah sini. Ini adalah inverse. Dia songsangkan dia. That's why dia panggil fungsi songsang. The inverse of f. So ini adalah fungsi f. Inverse macam ni lah, songsang. So inverse, this is the inverse function. So next will be for the inverse function. Untuk fungsi songsang, domain dia kat sini. This is the domain. And here is the range. Sama lah jika anak panah dia daripada kiri ke kanan. Sekali lagi ini fungsi f, left to right. So the domain is on the left hand side. The range is the right hand side. Now for the inverse function. So sini ke sini. So yang pertama ni will become the domain of f inverse. Therefore the domain of f inverse sama dengan range of f. Sama juga kat sini. The range of f inverse, range ataupun julat untuk fungsi songsang f sebenarnya sama juga dengan domain of f. Dia terletak kat set yang sama. Range of f inverse is the same as the domain of f. Sebab dia terletak kat set yang sama. So sekarang soalan. Now the question is, state the range of f inverse. So range of f inverse sebenarnya dia sama dengan domain of f. So kita tengok f, domain dia kat sini lah. So this is the domain of f. Sebenarnya dia sama dengan range of f inverse. Kita kenapa sama? Sekali lagi you tengok dia terletak kat set yang sama. Range of f inverse is equals to the domain of F. Terletak kat set yang sama. So I try to find the domain of F. So for this one, 4 minus X cannot be equals to 0. 4 cannot be equals to X. Ataupun X cannot be equals to 4. Therefore, range of F inverse, now the question is equals to negative infinity until 4 or 4 until infinity. So here is the answer for question C. So A, B, C. Finally, we look at D. Substitute, okay, composite function of inverse 3. So I can write in the form of G in the bracket F inverse 3. So we try to solve this bracket. Kita cuba selesaikan dalam kurungan petak ni dulu. This one means that substitute 3 into F inverse. So kita selesaikan dulu. 3 into F inverse. Where is our F inverse? F inverse is here. Substitute 3 means that 4 times 3 over 1 plus 3. So here is G in the bracket 12 over 4. I try to simplify. So here I should have G 3. Then we substitute 3 into the function of G. Kemudian baru kita ganti 3 dalam fungsi G. Kita buat satu persatu lah. Nak buat serentak, ada pelajar buat serentak pun boleh. Sama saja. Cuma dia keliru sikit lah, dia panjang. So from here I substitute 3. 2 times 3 minus 2. So here is 6 minus 2 square root of 4, which is equals to 2. So this is the answer for B. So for D. So now, so here is the answer for question number